This is the Padres POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Padres fan? Welcome to your Padres POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, and they did it. They got back into the win column tonight. You know, it's a 162-game season, and you know how it's going to go sometimes, right? The ups, the downs, the ins and outs of a Major League Baseball season. It comes full circle. We know this, but this team has really been struggling offensively lately. They got a couple home runs tonight. They beat the Braves in Atlanta 2-1. Great pitching performance by Nick Pivetta and the bullpen again. And, you know, that's the kind of pitching performance we've been used to seeing from this team throughout the season for the most part. And, of course, Pivetta's been great. And then, you know, recently as they've been dropping games, it's really been the offensive anemia and really not much different tonight, just exception of a couple of homers. And, you know, Manny being Manny, Machado hits the homer that wins the game. I don't think it changes all that much long term to get that win tonight, and that they were able to get the victory. You know, it still stays the same in terms of, hey, they don't have the offensive firepower to really compete with the Dodgers. And I don't think, you know, to see this team struggle offensively the way they have in stretches a couple of times this season has been tough. It's been really tough, and that's all it is. But tonight, win is a win is a win. I'm here to tell you how it happened. Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, Gries, at @JimGrease_ on social media. And I will tell you what, man, just hoping my guy Javi gets better soon as well. He's got the throat thing with the Locked On Padres podcast, but he's here every day. I'm here after the games, and that's what you have with the Locked On Podcast Network in terms of the Padres, and a lot of fun right now being had by us just sitting here every day talking about this team. So Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, Padres POSTCAST and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And I'm going to tell you what, we're ecstatic to have you, and you know that we do this for you. We're here for you, and you're the most important part of this network. So thank you for making us your first watch or listen every day, myself and Javi. And you know that we're free on YouTube, free on Roku, and free wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And you know what? It really is a beautiful day, any day that the Padres win. And tonight's show is brought to you by FanDuel. And you know how that goes. You know how much I love FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins on FanDuel. And I got to do something about that camera shaking on the computer. But I'll tell you what, a big night for the Padres and a really nice win for them. And it's something that when you think about what this team's been going through to get the homer to win it, you had Sheets with a homer again tonight. Nice to see him rewarded after last night, 3 for 5, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, and, you know, gave him the lead with the single in the 11th inning, and they couldn't hold it, and he deserved better than that. So anyway, all right, brought to you by FanDuel, Padres POSTCAST, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. 2-1 Padres beat the Braves in Atlanta. And how about Acuna? We'll be talking about him in a minute as well. A lot of things to get to, short time to do it. What do you say we get it popping? Let's go.
This is what you'll be talking about.
That guy around to the bases. Look at him. Unbelievable night for Gavin Sheets again. How about Pivetta looking good on the mound tonight? Nice job by Pivetta. And, man, some really timely hitting. There's Manny Machado letting people know what's up. And you know what? That's a nice – he ripped that ball. It was a blast and a big shot by Manny Machado. And, you know, he's been hitting lately. He's really been hitting. He hasn't been hitting with runners in scoring position. Nobody has, but he's been hitting. You know, Manny's been going through a pretty hot streak for the last month or so. Been hitting pretty well. Tie-breaking homer tonight. Ronald Acuna Jr. Great story, man. Think about that. Season debut for him. But Machado with only his 4th homer of the year. You know, I'm hard on Manny sometimes, and we sit here and we talk about how they don't have a 3-hitter, they don't have a 4-hitter, and they don't, right? I'm hard on Manny sometimes. But, you know, to have 4 homers at this point in the year when you're a number 3 hitter, that's, you know, you're not a 3-hitter. But you know what I mean? He's a good hitter. And as a 5-hole hitter, as a 6-hole hitter, he could be really, really good. But as a 3-hitter, he's, you know what I'm saying. So 4th homer of the year. But how about the sellout crowd? Thrilled by Acuna with the homer in the first pitch he saw. They're still not pitching to the scouting report. I mean, come on. I say it every day. It is what it is. But 470 feet for the homer for Acuna. Pivetta, first pitch fastball, and a nice defensive play in the field for Acuna as well. The 2023 National League MVP, activated from the injured list almost a year after he tore his left ACL and coming off the MVP season. Chris Sale, the former Cy Young Award winner, second inning homer to Gavin Sheets. Jason Adam got the final out in the 8th to get the win. He's 5-0. And then Robert Suarez, leadoff single by Alex Verdugo in the 9th, overcomes that, gets his 16th save. So Suarez is all right now. And you know what I mean? It's okay. It's just they're still not, Fernando had the double to lead off. What was it? I think it might have been 6th inning. I'm pretty sure, it was the 6th inning. Fernando leads off with the double, and he's on third base with one out, thrown out at the plate. It's a 1-1 game, and they've been aggressive all year long. So when you think about that, you live with it, right? Because more often than not, Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to score in that situation. Acuna's homer was the hardest hit ball by a Braves player this season. I found it to be interesting. Tomorrow it's Michael King and Grant Holmes, but the Padres off the schneid. That's the important thing tonight, to pick up that win. And, San Diego and they're still 3 games back. The Dodgers at 32-19. They're a game behind the Giants at 30-21. The Giants are 2 games out. So there you have it. But, they're still in the thick of things. And this stretch, coupled with the last losing streak they had and all the offensive troubles that have come with it, it's just been, you need another bat in the lineup. And I don't think they have a lefty in the rotation, and I don't think they have a lefty in the bullpen you can really count on. And, these are important things, even with Yu Darvish coming back at some point. These are important things, very, very important things. And I just don't think that that they have enough, really. And we'll see as the season progresses. I could be wrong, because Sheets has been a huge this year, and a lot of people didn't think he was going to do anything. Had a big spring training, and he's been huge. So we'll see. But nice to see those red L's, the W after that. You won the last 2 games against the Angels. You won 2 out of 3 against Colorado, and then bam, the Mariners sweep you, and then bam, the Blue Jays sweep you. First 2 sweeps of the season, right? You hadn't been swept at all. And as the audience grows, I want to remind you, hey, thank you for being here so much. We're free on YouTube, free on Roku, free on Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, Apple, iHeart. Thank you so much. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Just remember, myself and Javier Reyes, day in and day out with Locked On Padres podcast, and then here with the postcast. But, we're here to talk about this game and the win. Nice homer by Manny. The pitching was really good again tonight, and I think that's fantastic, and that's, really what we should be talking about as we get set for the break in just a minute. It's hard to sit here and talk about what they need or what they don't have, you know what I mean? Because they got the win tonight, and we're here to talk about this game. But it is a difficult thing because they're still just not hitting, man. I mean, how many pitchers, and Sale's a really good pitcher, as you know, but this has been everyone. The guys who have looked average. I joked the other night about a righty they faced, can't even remember his name, but they're like, they made him look like a combo of Greg Maddux, Pedro Martinez, and Roger Clemens all in one. And that's just, the guy's not that dude. So, Fernando 1 for 4 tonight, Machado 2 for 4 with the game-winning homer, 1 for 4 with the homer for Sheets, a hit for Iglesias, a hit for Diaz. He's been hitting pretty well lately in that catcher spot. And, 0 for 2 in scoring position tonight, 4 left on base, but that means, you're not getting guys in scoring position. And again, Sale's on the mound. So it's a 2-1 game. Each team had 6 hits, and, when you look at, you're facing a guy like Chris Sale, you're 7 innings, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, and that's what it is. They got Iglesias. But when you look at the Padres tonight, I'm just making sure I get the numbers right on Pivetta. He was phenomenal, matching Sale literally inning by inning, frame by frame. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Pivetta doesn't get a decision tonight, but 102 pitches, ERA is down to 2.72. What a huge year he's having to go along with King and Cease. I've said I don't think they really have an ace, and they need a lefty. But those 3 guys, man, with just throw one big lefty in there with you, with you, Darvish, you know what I'm saying? But Morejon was in there tonight. Adam got the win in the 3rd of an inning, and Suarez, 2 hits. He's not 100% right ever since that Anaheim game, but he got it done tonight. Truth be told, in the end, he got it done. And that's a great environment, tough environment, but a great environment to play in for the Padres. All right, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. We are here with your Padres postcast wherever you listen to your podcast. I'm talking Spotify. I'm talking Apple. I'm talking iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean. We're here on YouTube, Locked On Padres podcast, where we're free. And we're also here, you down with OTT. Yeah, you know me, this whole party over-the-top television, free on Roku as well. Look at this play at the plate. Fernando out, but he's aggressive, man, getting it done. Come on in, say hi in the comments too. You know what I mean? Let me know what's going on with you and what you're thinking of this team. Time for AJ to make a move, Rama says. Nice to get a win tonight. Yeah, they got to make a move. The win is the win, and it took a wonderful outing by Pivetta and Adam and Suarez and a couple of homers, Sheets and Machado, but they need sticks, man. One, at least in the middle. They need a lefty starter, lefty reliever. Easy for me to play GM, but come on, right? Is it not obvious to you as well as to me? I think this is what it is. So smash that subscribe while you're here. Hey, the Army's growing. You know what I mean? Navy, San Diego. All right, we'll say Navy. And I'll say this too, okay? Smash that bell too, because then you get an alert when we're coming live after the games, and that's a lot of fun too, or when Javi's dropping a new episode on you. And then come on in and say what's up in the chat. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Time to hit the break. We're going to tell you about a special deal from FanDuel to help you get some cash, some scratch. You know what I'm saying? And who doesn't need a little bit of that in the summertime? It's expensive. It's San Diego. It's the summer. You got to supplement that income if you want to do it right. All right. We are going to tell you how in just a minute. On the other side of this, though, we're going to give you the player game, turning point, all the things you've come to love about the show, and tell you a little bit more about this win, get you ready for tomorrow, and probably complain a little bit more about the moves they need to make. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team, your Padres, every single day. And I get a chance to tell you about FanDuel. With the NBA playoffs in full swing, the Knicks are down 2-0 to the Pacers. And Ant-Man down 2-0 to the MVP, SGA, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. NBA playoffs, conference finals in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. Which players are showing up at the biggest moments, and how could tracking their trends help you build your next bet? SGA, and how about this in the conference finals with Tyrese Halliburton? What would it look like to combine some live prop bets mid-game based on how the action unfolds? And if you've got a read on who's heating up, why not back it up with a same-game parlay? How about a $200 bonus in bets? Add to the excitement if your first $5 bet hits. All those things are dope AF. New to FanDuel? It's the perfect time to sign up. You know what I'm saying? Not playing. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. On the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first watch/listen of the day right here. Padres Postcast, Locked On Padres Podcast. Myself, Javier Arraez. Oh, that tandem. Major League Baseball. What a year it's been so far. But the Padres up and down, the way they started 13-3. They lost their 2 sweeps in a row, lost their first series right before that. Just been tough go lately, right? Offense has disappeared. The first time they went on a prolonged offensive streak of ineptitude, the injuries to Merrill, to Cronenworth, to Lockridge, to Hayward, right? Okay, guys are out. Arraez was gone for a while after that scary play at first base, right? So you're thinking, okay, you get the guys back, no worries, not going to happen again. You murder Colorado, it's Colorado. But then the Angels come in, and you still take 2 out of 3, and after the Suarez meltdown in Game 1 should have been a sweep, he's still not all the way right. But still, you take 2 out of 3 from the identityless, homeless vagabonds who somehow call themselves the Los Angeles Angels when they're in Anaheim. Really? It's Orange County? I mean, come on. Really? It just makes no sense to me. And Major League Baseball just lets them do it. You know what I mean? But hey, who am I to say anything? At least they're not trying to call themselves the San Diego Angels. For a while there, I thought they might try that. Anyway, I digress. But it's kind of fun to pick on them. Anyway, you take 2 out of 3 from then. And then you just get smoked by Seattle, smoked by Toronto. And okay, hot teams, you're not hitting, you're making their pitchers look like Cy Young. All right, there's a problem here. You go to Atlanta, you're facing a guy like Sale, you're not going to hit him, and that's the guy you beat. You didn't beat him, but you know what I mean? You win the game, he pitches, and Sheets hit the homer off him to keep it at 1-1. You know what I mean? To get you there to where Manny had a chance to do it, and I think that was awesome. I don't want to discount that at all. I don't. You know what I mean? You got to take the good with the bad, and you got to highlight and spotlight the good with the bad. And Manny killed that ball. Manny ripped that thing. And Gavin Sheets, again, 3 homers in 2 games. Nice job by him. You know, Sheets on fire, baby. Pivetta plus the pen. And that's where we're at. All right, couple things to do. Short time to do them in. Smash that subscribe, hit the bell, ring my bell, so you know when we're coming your way with more content. And then, of course, come on into the chat and say what up to your boy. Who do you think the player of the game should be tonight? Let me know in the comments. What do you think the turning point was? I don't know. In this game, right? It's 2-1 game. Turning point's the go-ahead homer. Anyway, I let the cat out of the bag. And why would the cat be in the bag? I don't know. These old school sayings about cats. Anyway, I don't know. We're about to get a new cat. Maybe I should let that cat out of the bag. Couple things to do, short time to do them in, starting with...
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Manny, why you bugging? Look at Manny Machado rounding the bases with his 4th home run of the season, all right? Hey, he's got 4. Better than 3 or 2 or 1, but it won a game tonight. So they win the game 2-1. Great job, Manny Machado, with the homer there. He's been hitting lately, had a couple more hits tonight. So there is your turning point. And how about...
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It is hard not to give the player of the game to the guy who hit the game-winning home run. Manny Machado, 2 hits, game-winning homer. But we will not do that. No, we won't. That would be too easy. How about the guy who is raking, baby? He might as well be on the grounds crew. He's raking so bad right now. 2 homers in last night's game and 1 more tonight for Gavin. Sheets is going crazy, baby. Another one, but he is not our player of the game tonight. He was last night. You know what I mean? Can't be greedy, and I'm not saying he is, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, who could it be, the player of the game? Who threw 6 innings of 1-run ball on 4 hits and struck out 7 while only walking 3 and has been a model of consistency all year with a 2.72 ERA and a record of 5-2. There he is. Oh, baby. Nick Pivetta's got it going this year. 5-2, 2.72 tonight. I told you his numbers, the 6 innings. He was fantastic. He's always fantastic. He's a gamer. He's a pro. He's every bit of everything you want on the mound in those situations. All right, there you have it. That's your star of the game. And then tomorrow, of course, these 2 teams will go at it in game 2 of the series. And tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, Michael King's on the mound. If they can start hitting the ball, 4-2 with a 2.59, taking on Holmes, 2-3. With a 4.01. What you looking at, Holmes? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's get Michael King out there and get that dub. This one's almost a pick 'em when you really, it's like the Braves have the higher win probability because the Padres aren't hitting. But on the run line, the Padres are -1.5. And on the money line, they are -130. All right, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. That's going to do it for your Padres postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Keep your game tight and your mind right, San Diego. 2-1 Padres with the win. We're out.